Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden, your administration's not good. Doom, 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 inflation. Doom, doom, gas high than a Mickey Ficky. Can't get no food from the grocery store 'cause it's too high. That's why you got to cry. People gon' steal. People gon' kill. 'Cause things too high. Doom, doom, doom. Then you let people come in for free. And you give them $5,000 a month. Give them free money. Giving money away overseas. Doom, 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 doom. While the average worker, I say, while the average worker, gotta struggle to put a gallon in his car. Doom, doom, doom. This Musa as a car. Man, I had to bring some type of humor to this situation right here, man. Shout out to Ticket TV, Carcino, Kwame Brown, Lee, Turn, J.I. Wisdom, Mr. Palmer, 2 Off Sports, 2 Off TV, Kicker, Mr. Miles, LC, Putter the Catcher, J.D. Black, Tariq Nasheed, Dr. Umar Johnson, I, SUPK, NOI, the Angry Man Podcast, holding it down, Corey Holcomb, holding down on these tubers and all the other platforms, baby. So represent, represent. But man, I'm telling you, man, since this Biden administration, letting everybody come over here just for free, but giving them whatever. Then you're giving money away overseas. The average worker is catching hell. The average worker catching hell. The average person trying to go to school, these student loans, credit, man, all this crazy madness in the hells in North America. It's tragic. It's turbulent. It's no good. Why left? Why left? Now we got a situation, man, but which is real. Realer than real deal Holyfield. And you hookers and hoes know how I feel. No, you finna get this. Where that mug at? Where that mug at? Where that mug at? But it's talking about the situation that went on and the killing of a student, and they find a suspect to be an illegal immigrant. And Georgia ain't playing. They said anybody suspected to be illegal, they finna get their asses locked up. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. We're gonna air fry on this when we get back.
Your biggest enemy is not the white man. Your biggest enemy is your fear of the white man. Your biggest enemy is not the white man. Your biggest enemy is your ignorance of the white man. Fear and ignorance is your number one enemy. How dare you say you are a Christian and that you know Jesus Christ and are walking in fear of the very shadow of your enemy? The scripture said perfect love casteth out fear, and that is your problem. You don't love God enough. You don't love yourself enough. You don't love one another enough.
Welcome back inside Live now from Fox. We want to go out to Georgia next as we continue to follow the latest developments here of a person who has been arrested now in the death of a 22-year-old nursing student. That suspect charged in connection with that 22-year-old has been confirmed as an illegal immigrant who's originally from Venezuela. Fox News Digital learning this as of recently. 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra is the suspect who is charged in the murder of nursing student Laken Riley on the University of Georgia campus. He is a Venezuelan national who crossed illegally into El Paso, Texas in September of 2022 and was released into the U.S. via parole. 3 ICE and DH sources told Fox News. ICE currently does not have comment on the situation. Let's bring you what we know so far about this investigation with Fox 5 Atlanta's Kim Luffler.
Jose Antonio Ibarra faces several charges, including malice murder in the death of 22-year-old Augusta University nursing student Laken Riley. Fox News has confirmed he was in the country illegally. We've also learned his brother was arrested for having a fake green card, which he used for a brief job at a UGA dining hall.
This court is not authorized under Georgia law to set bond in light of these charges.
On Saturday, a judge denied bond for 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra. He was arrested and booked into the Athens-Clarke County Jail Friday night after his arrest in the death of 22-year-old Augusta University nursing student Laken Riley.
The evidence suggests that this was a solo act. We took 3 or 4 people in custody. However, we're only going to arrest 1 in this case.
Police found Riley's body near Lake Herrick Thursday after a friend called them concerned when she didn't return home from a run. Police say she died from blunt force trauma. Fox News confirmed Ibarra was in the country illegally, crossing into El Paso from Venezuela in September of 2022 and was released into the country via parole.
He did not know her at all. I think this was a crime of opportunity where he saw an individual and bad things happen.
Ibarra's brother, 29-year-old Diego Ibarra, was also arrested Friday for having a fake green card after Athens-Clarke County police stopped him for matching the murder suspect's description. He's had several arrests since September of last year. UGA officials say Diego used that fake green card to get a job as a dishwasher at Bolton Dining Hall on UGA's campus on February 6. Officials say he failed to submit further documents to keep the job and was fired. They added he was never paid. Governor Brian Kemp sent a letter to President Joe Biden Saturday demanding answers, saying, quote, "The American people deserve to know who is illegally entering our country due to your administration's failures and what risks and challenges every state must face." Georgia Speaker of the House John Burns also released a statement Saturday saying, quote, "House leadership will be pressing for answers over the coming days as to why exactly the suspect and his brother continue to roam freely in the Athens area." Democratic State Senator Jason Estevez stressed this is a time to mourn. He took to X saying, quote, "Laken Riley's family deserves a space to grieve without being used for cheap political points." UGA officials did stress there is no longer a continuing threat to the community following news of this arrest. We also know Riley's sorority will be holding a vigil at 3 p.m. on Monday at Tate Plaza in her honor. In Athens, Kim Luffler, Fox 5 News.
Well, you saw some of the reaction pouring in there out of Georgia, but we're also seeing more lawmaker reaction on a national scale. This is California Congressman Darrell Issa saying to President Biden, "Do you plan to address the illegal immigrant who walks through your open borders, was released into our country, and is suspected of murdering a Georgia college student?" And you also saw in that report, too, that the governor of Georgia had put out a statement, a letter to President Joe Biden saying Laken Riley's tragic death has struck the hearts of Georgians everywhere and has sparked national outrage. Joe Biden's failed policies have turned every state into a border state, and I'm demanding information from him so we can protect our people when the federal government won't. And you can see in this full statement here just part of that letter, and I'll read out just a little brief portion of this from the top, saying, Dear Mr. President, as I have stated many times in the past, your actions and those of your administration have resulted in every state in the country experiencing the disastrous impacts of an unsecured U.S. southern border. More than 9 million illegal immigrants have crossed the border since you took office, with an additional unknown number of migrants who were not detained and processed, while at least 58 people on the terror watch list have been encountered between ports of entry this fiscal year alone. Moreover, nearly 2,000 pounds of fentanyl and 5,000 pounds of meth were seized at the border in just the month of January. In addition to the serious national security implications of the crisis, the increased burden on state and local resources is not only unsustainable, it also presents a clear and present danger to our citizens and communities. And then after this, he does get into what happened to 22-year-old Laken Riley, saying while the dangers of this crisis have never been theoretical, this week our state witnessed a devastating tragedy. Laken Riley, a 22-year-old nursing student at Augusta University and beloved member of the University of Georgia community, was found dead near UGA's East Campus Intramural Fields on Thursday. After her death had been ruled a homicide, state and local law enforcement coordinated on identifying, locating, and arresting the suspected murderer. This coordinated effort resulted in the arrest of Jose Antonio Ibarra, a Venezuelan national, on multiple charges, including malice murder. It has since been revealed by the United States Department of Justice that the investigation into Laken Riley's murder also resulted in the arrest of his older brother, Diego Ibarra, on charges of possessing a fraudulent U.S. permanent resident card. Just in part, some of what the Georgia governor has put in a letter to President Joe Biden. He also spoke earlier this morning on Fox and Friends. Here are some of his comments on this tragedy.
Well, I just want to offer my condolences, thoughts, and prayers to Laken's family. I talked to his parents, John and Allison, last night. As you can imagine, they are just struck with grief. They're heartbroken, and they're also, like I am, they're upset and they're mad and outraged at this incident that happened. You know, I've made 5 trips to the border like a lot of other Republican governors. We've raised the issue of the problems with an unsecure southern border for well over 2 years now, really at the start of the Biden administration, because the change in policies that have led us to where we are, where we now have, you know, millions of people, 7.5, 8.5, however many million people that have come into our country. And then you have people like these 2 individuals that came into the country and then committed crimes. I mean, this is a federal issue. This is an issue that the president can take action on. And I know he's trying to blame, you know, inaction in Congress. That is passing the buck. We know that there's things that he can do. The Republican governors that were at the border just weeks ago stand ready to help him do that. We stand ready to send National Guard resources, and let's secure our border and make sure this doesn't happen again.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp there speaking on the murder of 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley, and especially as more of this reaction continues to pour in. And of course, we're going to continue to stay on top of this story as well, especially as we look into this week. Of course, learning in that last report that a vigil will be held tomorrow there in Athens, Georgia. We're going to, of course, try to bring you whatever live coverage we can of that, should cameras be allowed. We're going to take another commercial break here. We still have much more in store. When we come back, we'll be bringing you more on the border crisis as our team at Fox 5 in D.C. takes a closer look.
Black men, I'm going to say it from me to you. This is just straight up. Black women, 80% of them, they don't like you. 80%, I'm probably sure it's more, but at least 80% of black women in this day and age, it don't matter how old or young they are, they have a general dislike and hatred for you. That's your real climate, brother. See, I'm not telling you something that you ain't already felt. I'm telling you something that you know. I think it's more too. I truly think it's more too. I think it's more too. And I'm tired of being the one that's not talking about it. I've said this. This is one of the main reasons I don't have a lot of black female friends. I really don't, y'all. I don't. I couldn't imagine what it would be like as a black man. It's an abundance of you that think that all men are dogs, but we all know it means black men. Undertone of all relationship conversations is black men ain't shit. Why these black men ain't doing this? I can't bond with y'all, sis. I cannot bond with y'all when you have a general dislike and vitriol and hatred for our male counterpart. Do you not understand how goddamn psychotic that is?
Fat meat ain't greasy. Fat meat ain't greasy, huh? But yeah, Georgia House passes bill lowering standards now for detaining illegal immigrants. They passed a bill Thursday that will make it possible to arrest immigrants on suspicion that they are residing in the state illegally. They ain't playing, homie. They ain't playing. The bill passage come a week after the murder of University of Georgia student Laken Riley, whose body was discovered on campus on February 22nd. And Jose Ebrera was an illegal immigrant living near campus and has been arrested in connection to her death. He faces charges of malice murder, felony murder, aggravated battery, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, kidnapping, hindering a 911 call, and concealing a death of another. He was notably arrested in the United States prior to the alleged crime. And the authorities knew he was an illegal immigrant, but released him back into the country rather than deport him. This is what I'm talking about. Joe Biden. Joe Biden, that's y'all thing. That's y'all president. Kamala Harris and all them old Mickey Fickies ain't worth a quarter. Ain't worth a quarter. IJS, man. IJS is sad. It's real sad, man. But this is what we go through in the hells of North America. This is what you give your taxpayers dollars for, and you don't get a damn thing. They just tease you with like a little stimulus online and all that. You can get this all $6,400. That's bullshit, man. And you don't get shit, but everybody else get equal opportunity. They get rainbows. They get, goddamn it, stacks thrown at them. We don't get shit. And look what happened when it resulted to, you know what I'm saying? Give me an inch, they take motherfucking miles. Sad, man. Sad. And America I know one thing I know about America, they never want to face accountability. Just like a woman. America is she, so I guess a woman ain't gonna face no accountability. That's hard, man. That's hard like Megatron. This your boy Moose. Do me a favor. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace and Bala Hagris, people.